What's up, team? Merry Christmas. Hopefully you had a great Christmas with you and your family, your friends, the people that you enjoy hanging out with. I just got back from Snyder Village down in Belleville, Ohio. So I probably stayed up too late last night, but I laughed so hard. My brother laughed so hard. I haven't seen him laugh. You know where you get on a laughing spree and it hurts and you can't, it's like, you can barely take. Maybe you haven't, but that's where my brother was at last night. And that'll be one of the highlights of my year. And so I had a great time hanging out with them. We received a lot from God over Christmas. We received a lot of snow. And in spite of the snow, I was prepared to be lower than last year with our upcoming attendance trend and then snow on top of that. And somehow God blessed us with just over one person over 23,000, which is about 600 people up from last year. And team, that's a huge win. That's a win because I think in one large part, our creative team worked really hard to craft a story that people could find themselves in. And in fact, when I showed up down in Belleville, my brother-in-law and his wife, my sister, had watched the service. And they had bets on whether we bought that footage or did it ourselves. And needless to say, my sister believes in Team Cedar Creek. And my brother-in-law is on the naughty list. So, but anyway, the creative team, Corey, Zach, JD, were some of the individuals that helped spearhead that. Lydia, she helped write the story. I mean, there were so many people involved. Sven donating his time and energy to do that. It was a fantastic experience. The music was awesome, great opener. I mean, it was really fun. I had two people from my top 5 show up for Christmas who have not, one guy I've been inviting to Cedar Creek since we started our Lemons race, Roll Cage Dave. And I think there's some cool God stuff already happening in him and his sister's life, or his wife, I'm sorry, not his sister, his wife's life. It's the sister of a friend of mine, so I don't need to get into the details of that. So, and I'm sure you have other stories. I cannot wait to hear them on January 8th. If you want, take a second, write them down, share them with your campus pastor, because we're going to be sharing some of those stories this weekend and the following weekend. Speaking of this weekend, we've got the New Year's Eve services coming up, and we got 5:15 on Saturday, 9 and 10:45 on Sunday. It should be a fun weekend, and I cannot wait to wrap up the series by talking about goodbye with everybody. We'll be taking communion together, so it'll be a great way to cap off the end of the year and launch into our Imagine Heaven series. So that's a quick update on where we're at. Offering numbers, you know, I think you'll be getting these, but they just came in, and we had a great Christmas offering. I mean, the whole thing about Christmas, it could have been disastrous. And but that would have been, I mean, out of our control. The weather, we don't really have a weather button that we can push. And I'm so thankful for where we're at today. Intern season is coming up. And so as we step into the new year, we've got a few weeks in January to try to recruit those potential interns. I had a conversation with a guy just last weekend who is thinking about it, 2 weekends ago maybe. And his name's Adam out of South Toledo, and I hope he considers that. But a nudge from you might be one of the important pieces that at least gets them to fill out an application. And there's no harm in filling out an application. That'll teach them a lot, teach us a lot. And so please be on the lookout for who you can encourage to join the internship program. So those are those pieces. I do have one important update regarding our HSA, our health savings account, and our healthcare. And I'm going to say this now. Some of this is going to make way more sense on January 8th. Just to give a quick snapshot, our healthcare costs in the last 5 to 6 years have almost doubled. In 2011, Cedar Creek paid $430,000 for healthcare to cover our staff. In 2017, we paid $905,000 for healthcare. That's almost doubled. Some of that is due to some of our staff who have some real chronic illnesses. And so as those things come up in people's lives, our health care will naturally rise. That's a kind of a normal occurrence. But across the country, health care has really been rising and making it complicated. And if you have friends or if you have a spouse or other family members who are in the marketplace, you know what they've had to deal with. So We have had a team working on what's the best way we can take care of our staff, give them the most amount of options depending on what their needs are. And we have a new plan that will be rolling out in April. So the new plan is not rolling out until April, but what will be required or will be a part of that is we are no longer going to uniformly drop $3,000 into everybody's HSA accounts the first 3 or 4 months of the year. And we will no longer be doing the match. In fact, we're going to be taking some of the monies that we used for HSAs and for healthcare. And the simplest way to put it is you will have some flexibility with that depending on what your healthcare needs are when we talk about our plan. So if you don't see $1,000 or whatever dollars we normally put in January come in, don't be alarmed. We're going to talk about when and where, what that'll look like moving forward on January 8th. For those of you that want to max out your HSA, go to creekhelp.com and go to the HSA forms, and you can fill that out before the end of the year. So do it right now. If you're like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do, or I usually put in about $1,000 over the 52 weeks or 26 pay periods, what should I do? Wait until January 8th. No big deal. I think that's where most people are at. For some of you who were kind of counting on that HSA deductible deposit, whatever, for this new deductible year, talk to your campus pastor or your direct report on central support. Our executive team, or you can just email healthcare. I think it's healthcare. I'll make sure that Casey or Josh put the right link. You can email HR or something like that. And I'm sorry, I'm not remembering that off the top of my head. And they will take care of those questions as well. So if you want to funnel those questions in, that'd be great. So there's your quick announcement before the end of 2017. Yeah, I'll see you guys this weekend. Enjoy the rest of your week. January 8th, we'll have staff meeting. I cannot wait to hear those stories. So get your gold microphone stories teed up now, all right? Enjoy. See ya. Love you guys.